Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay 970 WFLA. Talking fishing. Going to be here until 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, only until 8 o'clock. The legend, Captain Rob Roman, getting a day off, so we brought in another captain, Captain Jason Behringer. Newly elected captain. Captain. How are you, JB? You good, buddy?
I'm great. Always good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too, brother. Immediately when we see a different, engineer in the morning, a different lead dog, I immediately think to myself, what did you do wrong? You did something.
My lawyers have asked me not to comment.
Good answer.
You've been punished. You must get up early and do the fishing show.
You got to hang out with Mike.
That's right. And now Mike and Dylan, which makes it even more cautious.
Even worse.
Yes. Always keep your finger right by the dump button.
Welcome to Saturday morning.
That's right. Butler and Boyd. All good stuff. All good stuff. Crazy weather. Crazy week. Yeah. Lots of stuff to cover as usual. My partner here's got us all laid out and grouped up with some topics and
yeah, man, this weather is crazy, though. Let's talk
about
that
Let's
first.
start with weather because that's.
Oh my goodness!
People are thinking about that this morning. If you're headed for the water, it's
today
weird.
Is dangerous.
It looks weird because it looks nice, right?
It's gonna trick you.
Yeah,
it's gonna trick you. Don't let it fool you today. It's gonna be nice, but at some point later this afternoon, I subscribe because of our business. I subscribe to the county weather alerts and stuff for hurricanes, and it's nice to know when they start declaring state of emergencies, et cetera, when hurricanes are coming. But they sent out a warning yesterday for severe weather, possible tornadoes, large hail, all that coming this afternoon. And if you look at the forecast on like Windfinder, for example, it looks beautiful.
It does.
Let's go on the boat today, guys. Let's go offshore. No, it's going to break bad later this afternoon, sometime tonight.
Breaking bad.
It's not going to be pretty.
Wow.
And yeah, so it definitely is kind of a weird weekend because we have that low. It passed through, but now it's kind of stalled out right below us and becoming a occluded front, and it's going to sit there till like Tuesday. And then it's finally going to get blown out of the area as another big front pushes down. We get a lot of southern flow later this week.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday look breezy again.
Out of the south as that next front is approaching. It's sucking a lot of energy up towards it. The one benefit, the one good thing to look at here, folks, the bright side of the bad weather that we're getting is the fronts are starting to kind of peter out. They're not quite making it down to our area. And this is that time of year where you'll see a week in the future where they're calling 40-mile-an-hour winds and 9-foot seas at Egmont Key. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, it'll be beautiful. Because all of a sudden that front was forecasted to push down into our area, but then it doesn't quite make it there. And this is the time of year where those fronts will hopefully start to miss us or start to just go north of us a little bit, where all that bad weather might make it into Big Bend, but it won't make it all the way down here to Tampa Bay. So that's the bright side, the silver lining, if you will, is we're getting to that time of year.
But it's been crazy. Like the last week, I was thinking about you this week because it just seemed like it.
March lived up to its name.
It did. The wind marched right in.
Yeah,
is exactly what happened. It was crazy. And I was thinking about those big boats. Were you guys able to get out? Was Hubbard's able to do their thing this week?
The beginning of this week was great. I was 80 miles offshore Tuesday. It was beautiful, but then it broke bad Wednesday. It got windy. It actually didn't get as windy as they kind of forecasted Wednesday morning. It was nice, but yeah, it picked up quite a bit through the afternoon.
I was going to say, but when I woke up Wednesday morning, I was kind of bummed because I canceled. And then
a lot of people kicked themselves Wednesday morning until about 10 a.m.
I was going to say by 10 a.m., I was headed over the bridges to do some work, and I thought, you know what? The start of this trip, the first hour or two might have been okay, but the last 2 or 3 hours would have really sucked because she was honking pretty good by then.
Yeah, and then Thursday was
Thursday was crazy, blowing the top off.
That was
and
nuts.
Friday was, you couldn't tell what to do. We canceled a big Advent Health gig or just rescheduled it. Mm-hmm. And I had some guys who were like, dude, it doesn't look bad. I'm like, I know it doesn't look windy, but that rain. Mm-hmm. And I kept watching it thinking maybe we made a mistake because it seemed like that rain might come through before the sun comes up, and then it would be doable.
I thought it would be too.
But it was a little grisly still.
Yeah. That was my plan Saturday as well as, or not Saturday, Friday as well as, I thought that by like 8 o'clock, 10 a.m., the rain would stop and we'd have a nice rest of the day. But, I mean, it was still pretty breezy.
It was just kind of covered up in snot most of the morning, and then just – yeah, that makes it real tough. And I think, for me at least, I don't know how it is. You're still quite a bit younger than I am. I don't want to fish in that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, my thing and kind of our rule of thumb is people are disappointed when you ruin their plans. And
for you guys, for
yeah,
sure.
So if people are disappointed, you ruin even for you. I mean, a family down from Chicago is only in town for a week, and they plan their fishing trip at the end of their vacation, and they want to go fishing with Mike. And if you cancel on them, they're going to be disappointed. If you take them, and it's one of those uncomfortable days where you know the fishing isn't going to be optimal, they're going to be disappointed you took them.
Right.
So to me, I just kind of leave it up to the customers. If it's safe, if it's doable, if I know I can take them out there and keep them safe and have the best time possible, then we'll go and just be as upfront and brutally honest as possible. And that way, I mean, if they're going to be disappointed either way, so you might as well do your job.
To me, the bonus has been that I don't take a lot of the tourists anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just because my schedule's so busy,
You've made it in life.
I have definitely not made it. I had to get up at 4:30 this morning, so I would say
you wanted to hang out with me.
I did, but that's definitely not making it. You know, Jason Behringer, he's made it. He's only get to do this once in a while. The rest of us, we got to do this all the time. It's not good. Anyway. I don't take a lot of the tourists out anymore, mm-hmm. and so a lot of my people are regulars who fish here all the time.
Yeah, so they know.
So they're in the same boat. They're like, can you reschedule me for a day that's going to be nice? If they're going to spend money, then why not spend it on a day? I always say we're going to stack the deck in our favor. Mm-hmm. Fishing's got enough what-ifs anyway. You can have perfect conditions, everything by the book, new moon, tide's good, winds are down, it's not too hot, water temp's right, everything's good, and still struggle all day long.
Like Tuesday.
Yeah, like Tuesday. You're right. Tuesday's a good example. Tuesday was a pain in the butt.
Dude.
Although we caught fish, we had to work for them. We had to grind a little bit.
Yeah, and Tuesday was a weird one, and I'm glad to hear you say that you had a tough day too. So
yeah, we had to work. We had to work. I mean, we caught, like I said, we probably caught, 25 or 30 snook, a couple of trout mixed in. We caught a nice grouper off one of the docks, but I mean, it wasn't, like I had to chum a little bit to get them going. And then once they got going, they'd stop and you're like,
dude, we got out there 75, 80 miles offshore, and we were fishing just inside that fence of the deep water closure on the very tail end of that closure, because remember, that ended April 1st, so the deep water closure is over now. But we were fishing just inside that, slow pitch jig fishing, which is a lot of fun, totally hooked on it. And we get out there and get anchored up, and or actually we were drift fishing because we were slow pitch jigging, but we got set up and caught a first maybe handful of fish. Everything was looking up, but conditions, everything was stacked in our favor. Yeah. Right in front of a new moon. We were right before a blow. It was calm. Everything was looking like it was going to be an epic, monumental day. And we first got out there, started catching a couple fish. I started getting excited, and then the wind got taken right out of our sails. It was a grind. We ended up, the people on the boat who were familiar with slow pitch jigging and really knew the process and had the right gear, they ended up doing pretty well. Like, it was only my second time doing it. I caught probably 5 or 6 mangroves, a keeper, red grouper, and some other mixed bag. So it was a good trip, but you had to grind, and it was overall very slow.
Sometimes fishing is work.
But what was interesting is every fish that came up that hit the deck, like I swung in this big mangrove, probably 5-6 pounds. It hit the deck and it spit up probably 4 dozen of little glass minnows and little baby octopus and eels. I mean, these fish were just stuffed. I mean, to the point where you couldn't even get compression on their belly. It was like an overinflated tire. I mean, they were just stuffed. So they had been eaten. I was right. The bite was on. We missed it.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you would think right before a new moon they wouldn't have fed so heavily at night, but they fed at night. And it was sharky, super sharky.
Really?
Yeah, and that's something I'm actually traveling up to Orange Beach, Alabama this week for the Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council. And part of that is the University of Mississippi got a grant. They're doing a shark depredation study, and I'm going to be spending a whole day in that shark depredation workshop, and that's the big discussion is people in Texas, Northern Gulf have really been pushing. There's too many sharks. There's a lot of shark problems, and we've had a shark problem, but it hasn't been that crazy. It has gotten really bad in the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, really. I mean, I remember when I was 8, 10, 12 years old, you'd be able to go out there and catch fish on the middle grounds. You could sit on a spot for 2-3 hours, not have a problem. But if you sat on a spot long enough, the sharks would show up. Now it's like you get out there and you hook 2 fish, sharks are on you.
Really?
I mean, we saw probably 10 sharks on Tuesday, right up to the boat, stealing fish underneath the boat. And every time you hooked up, you had to crank that thing in as fast as you could. And if you slowed down, a shark was on it.
So it'll be interesting to see what their idea. I mean, I have an idea of how we could fix that problem, but they probably don't like my idea.
Well, the problem with sharks is it's not under the fishery management plan. So the Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council only manages reef fish, coastal migratory pelagics, and they have a say in highly migratory species. But outside of the council process is the Endangered Species Act, or ESA, which is turtles, and there's the marine mammal section, which is dolphins, whales. Then there's sharks. Then there's HMS, or highly migratory species like bluefin tuna, yellowfin tuna, the billfish, etc. So sharks aren't even managed by the council, and that's part of the problem because even the council agrees. The council members get really angry about how many sharks there are. One of the council members is a shrimper, and she spends an ungodly amount of money on repairing shrimp nets from bull sharks. And she says at every meeting how there's too many sharks. But we had a presentation. It's hard to say it with a straight face. We had a presentation from the NOAA folks who are in charge of the shark kind of management process, and a lot of those sharks are deemed endangered with rebuilding plans. Normally, like red snapper was considered critically endangered. Everybody could agree 10, 15 years ago there was a problem with red snapper. That was a 25, 30-year rebuilding plan. These sharks have 600, 700, 800-year rebuilding plans where they're going to be considered critically endangered for nearly a century. So we are a long way from seeing the worst of this shark problem. And, we have a big issue we have to hurdle.
We're going to go to break. That's what we're going to do right now. Because I can't.
Speechless.
I just can't. I can't. Some things are too stupid for comment. So I'm going to just move on to the next subject. Hopefully you'll call us. 1-800-969-9352. Do not let me go down that rabbit hole. Please don't do it. It's a beautiful Saturday. I want to enjoy it. Final Fours tonight. We had great women's games last night. I mean, I don't want to do it. Save me. We'll be back. Looking for the Bay Area's premier family boating resort?
Yeah, we were screaming when they were doing the presentation. And it to me, it's a product of the different advocacy groups. There's different stakeholders and everything. And when it comes to the shark issue, there's commercial, recreational, and then another stakeholder that everybody has to consider is the environmental groups. And they have done a great job at, even me. I mean, I love Shark Week. Shark Week is the biggest week of propaganda right into your home. It's crazy some of the stuff they say.
Sure.
Our oceans are critically endangered and overfished. If you watch Shark Week show and you don't throw up, you might be a problem. You might be part of the problem. It's crazy. Some of the stuff that they spew on there, and that just has been ingrained in our population. I mean, I'll never forget, it was 5 years ago that we killed a big bull shark, totally legal, and the customer took home a bunch of meat, the jaws, and then we donated the rest to a homeless shelter, because, I mean, you can't eat a 10-foot shark, but we legally harvested it. We used all the meat, nothing went to waste. I got death threats over that.
Really?
Death threats.
God.
And I was only like 16, 17, 18 years old.
Man, nothing cool like that ever happens to me.
I guess I was older than that, maybe 22, but still, death threats. And then a kindergarten teacher, it wasn't kindergarten, maybe it was like, I don't know what grade it was, but she had her kids write with crayon little notes about how I'm a terrible person for killing a shark. Like little stick figures crying.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I would have so much fun with her. That would be awesome. I have a field day with that retard.
But that's what I'm saying, man. That's the place we're in with these. It's very difficult to do anything when it comes to sharks. And then let's not talk about the dolphin issue.
Are we going to do this today?
Just saying.
Stop it.
Just saying.
Stop it.
You don't think we have a dolphin?
Oh,
problem?
God, yes. We do have a cormorant issue.
Cormorants. Huge
Cormorante
problem.
is a pain in the keister.
Mm-hmm.
17 times its weight a day in bait fish.
Yep.
Not a good creature.
Nope.
Bad creature. Protected. For what reason? I have no idea. Them boogers are everywhere.
Well, it comes down to ecosystem-based fishery management. That's what they need to look at. It's all right, if you're going to protect the crap out of sharks, that's fine, but you have to look at the impact that it has on the rest of the food chain. All right, you're going to protect the crap out of a cormorant. What's it going to do to the bait fish?
Right.
Which is the base of the food pyramid for all our shore-based game fish.
Right.
You know? So I think that needs to be a bigger consideration.
They're not that smart, though. The idiot.
Well, they're trying to work towards
bird
ecosystem.
lovers, the bird lovers, and that whole crew of whack jobs is,
Yeah.
Did
They're
I say
working
that out
towards.
loud? I did say that out loud.
Yeah.
I need some sensitivity training.
I don't think there's enough sensitivity training in this world.
I don't think so either. I think I'm way past that. Should have got me when I was younger, like Dylan. I had a chance. Ooh, look at that. That's not cool. What the hell is that all about?
I don't know. Is that a serpent?
That's a snake. Cobra.
That's not a snake, dog. That's a serpent.
That thing was ugly.
Yeah, it was.
I don't do snakes.
I like snakes. I don't do spiders.
I don't do snakes or spiders, as a matter of fact. One of my favorite stories of all time. We were at the Marina one morning. It's like 10 of us running this group trip. Chad Manning was there. Hageman was there. Hageman finds this. Did you hear this story?
Tell it again. I
The
like
snake?
it.
Oh, dude. Hageman come chasing Chad down the dock with that snake in his hand. I will hit you in the chest so hard that your heart will stop beating. You take one more step towards me. Hageman was like, okay. And I just turned around and went away. I was like, dead. So I'm like, I will kill you. Welcome back. I got the privilege, the bonus to spend a little time yesterday with my good friend Jim Bickle over at Gator Jim's Fishing Tackle. It had been a while since I was able to walk in, even though it's literally right across the street from my marina.
I was just about to say, don't you dock there?
I do, and but I just haven't. I've been coming and going, and just haven't had a chance. And it dawned on me really as I was just walking in. It is such a cool place, man. Dude, they've done such a great job with Gator Jim's Fishing Tackle.
And the people that work there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about Jim a lot on the show, and I do, too. I mean, he's a great guy. The inventory they have in there is crazy, the deals, all that. But the people who work behind the counter, I mean, a lot of times you go into a bait shop, and they've got a great group behind the counter. But the passion that they have at Gator Jim's is really cool. And the fact that they'll walk you around, and their selection of lures is just mind-blowing.
The inventory in general, I have been in some other tackle stores, and there's a lot of good ones. Jim and I had that conversation yesterday. There's a lot of great ones. The state of Florida has some epic tackle stores. Some great, some on the Space Coast over there, some up, towards Destin and Panama City. There's some fantastic, legendary tackle stores.
Yep.
You walk into Gator Jim's Fishing Tackle right now, like I did. I literally walked in and I went, dang, places, dude, he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reels. Nobody can get reels.
No.
I'm on the pro staff and I can't get my reels.
Dude,
Pickle's got it.
I have a wholesale distribution account with multiple different distribution companies and agencies, and I work with Bass Pro Shops, and I can't get rods and reels. Who did I call? I called Jim, and he got me 80 rods and reels like a week
Just
later.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive. But one thing I wanted to mention is, you go to a lot of tackle shops and they have tackle like 3/4 of the way up the wall, and then they have some decorations, maybe some paintings up there. There's some accoutrement. That's kind of sets the attitude of the store. Yeah. Not at Gator Jim's. I don't see any decorations in there. Outside, there's a shark. There's some cool stuff outside.
A big gator.
You walk into that place, you won't find a piece of art hanging on the wall. There's no room. It's just nothing but pegboard. It was mind blowing.
It's stuff.
Yeah.
He's got, and he asked me, he always does too. We were walking around and he was like, "Do you see this anywhere else?" And I'm like, "No, Jim, I don't. You are the only guy I know that has a tackle store this stuffed with product." It's absolutely incredible. And the deals are totally insane. Like, he was showing me some of the stuff. Kingfish rigs.
Last time I went in there, he said, "You can't talk about these deals."
Well, he said I can. He said I could.
Oh, he gets permission. I
do.
Get you.
Yeah. So, Kingfish rigs, pre-made, the good ones, $1.99.
Wow.
Like a giant bin of them, like
That's
pre-rigged, 3-foot, double-hooked teasers, the whole 9 yards, $1.99. Fenor Lethal 40 spinning reels. They're like $130 normally.
Yeah.
$69.
That's crazy.
And he had a giant bin of them. Lethal 60s. Normally $130, $69. It's crazy. And you know what I like about Jim Bickle? He loves the kids. Every kid that comes in, they have all these giant FWC posters. Mm-hmm. Have you seen them? Where it's all like, they want to be all the sharks, all the pelagics, all the whatever. Kids come in, they just get that stuff for free. He just gives them to them.
Oh, yeah.
Great dude. Just a great dude. Great place. Love me some Gator Gyms. They had a giant rack, Van Staal rods. All these different high-end brands of rods that he was just blowing out all at half price. Like $250 rods, half price. I'm like, Jim, really? He buys them at such great deals that he can just pass those savings on. And I know the commercial runs, and we don't mention them every week like this, but I was just in there, and I was blown away. He just does a great job. It's just an amazing tackle store.
Really cool people.
Yeah.
And you see people in there. They have that little bar at the end. Every time I go in there, there's like 2 or 3 people just hanging out, just chilling in the tackle shop.
It's a cool place to be.
That says something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Bickle, Gator Gyms, 3301-9352.
If you want to see Capt Mike's little vein in the forehead pop out, make sure you tune in on Facebook Live, because it will be. We'll get it there.
Hubbard's page, Real Animals page. We'll be back.
News, traffic, and weather. Top and bottom of every hour.
News Radio WFLA and I.
The state has hired a forensic engineer from the Quest engineering firm to investigate
The one bad part about drinking coffee is it makes you sweat. It's crazy. Every time I drink hot coffee, it raises my body temperature. I start sweating even when I'm in the AC. It's the one thing I don't like about it.
I drank a little bit for a short period of time, but when I was in the military working nights during the wintertime, midnight to 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
I got into the coffee thing a little bit, but then went back to day shift and just was more of a Mountain Dew and Coca-Cola guy.
Yeah. I've always just drank energy drinks. I don't like drinking soda too much. That way, the energy drink, you just drink a little bit and you're done.
Every now and then I'll have a Sprite with lunch or something, but not very often anymore. Save all my calories. Save all my calories for beer.
Exactly. I was going to say, I save all my sugar for the whiskey.
I could DeSantis paying our cops more money. You go, kid. Attaboy.
What's your favorite beer?
You know what? If I'm being like totally honest, I have a stupid cider fetish right now. Like the apples, I do. I like the ciders. I like the red
cider.
Yeah, I like them. I got a sweet tooth, and it really. And then I switched to usually a Mick Ultra or a Bud Light.
I got you. All right.
Yeah, I got a cider.
He owned it. He owned it.
I got a cider thing going for sure.
What cider?
Reds. Usually it's a Reds or an Angry Orchard.
I got
One
you.
of the two. I can't do them if they get too crazy.
Yeah.
The Angry Orchard's a little sweet.
Yeah.
But that's the one they seem to carry at a lot of restaurants, you know what I mean? So I usually have one or two ciders, and then I'll switch if I'm gonna drink.
Mick Ultra.
Yeah, Mick Ultra. Then I get worried about calories after I drank them calorie bombs, and I switch to super light beer. Yeah, I don't do a lot of crazy. I'm not a big IPA guy and all that. Just not.
Yeah. If I'm gonna drink a beer, I like those. One of our guests, Anthony Smith, he turned me on to this Kentucky bourbon beer. It is insanely good, but it's like an IPA. It's pretty heavy. I don't think you'd like it, but it was very good. Because I don't love beer. I like beer if I'm like out in the boat or if it's one of those situations where I don't want to drink dark whiskey. But it was really good for a beer. I got to tell what's his name, Pat, about it. I'm sure he probably already knows about it.
He might, but he would like to know for sure.
Yeah, it's like a beer, but it's brewed in Kentucky bourbon barrels, and it's super, super dark colored, but it's not that like dark flavor. Very good. They sell it at ABC.
I like ice cold beer.
Yeah, any ice cold beer.
Right on.
Yuengling, I think, would be like the general population. Like if you walk into a restaurant and can order it kind of beer, I would say Yuengling would be my favorite.
Yeah, I'm not a big Yuengling guy. That Flight isn't too bad.
Flight.
Their light one.
Mm-hmm. And Heineken, I like Heineken.
Dude, the problem, I'll tell you what spoiled me, what screwed me up was Germany.
Oh,
I spent 3.5 years in Germany, and the best beer, when I was stationed overseas, the best beer was Heineken. I hated the Heineken green bottle in the States, but over there they had a Heineken Red Star, where the star was solid. The star in the States was always white with a red outline. And we called them Heineken Red Stars, and they used to come like big bottles. We used to call them Bundy Heinies. And it tasted so good. But
2 liter Heinies.
No preservatives. No preservatives in the beer over there. You drink a beer over there, it's
a week old.
3-4 days old, that's it. Not like in the States where it's could be 3 months old. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so that really kind of boogered me up.
Yeah, Heineken is good. I like it a lot. And then the foreign ones, like the Bahamian beer, Kalik, Imperial is really good.
Imperial.
And the Corinne that you get at sushi places. I really like that Corinne Ichiban.
Yeah, I like the Imperial a lot. Imperial Silver was really good.
It's especially those like Caribbean, South American beers. It's like meant to be drank outside.
I agree.
It's not heavy.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's like water, but better. Dude, I think everybody's sleeping this morning.
Hey, I've got to cut a spot and then have you email it to Jeff Liss. Can you do that? We'll do it at one of the breaks.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks, JB.
So how does that work? You just save a spot into the mic while the mic's potted down?
And then he makes a file, sets it up, and goes, okay, go, and I read it, and he edits it quick into a little thing, and then sends it to Jeff Liss, and then.
So all the commercials that air, you film those on, or you record those on commercial?
On the
like
break?
the one that's playing right now.
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, I used to come in the building and do them, but.
That's what I thought.
I
thought you had to go in like a separate studio.
We did for a while, and then I just was never in the building, so these guys can all do them at the break.
Nice. Interesting.
Radio show presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. If you are in need of a new roof or a roof repair, check out our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. They understand that your roof is a large investment and protects most, if not everything, that you own. Let their 3 decades of roofing experience help you through this important process. Whether you need a shingle, metal tile, or a flat roof, Affordable Roofing Systems is your safest choice for repairs or replacements. You can call today, get a free estimate at 1-888-397-ROOF, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Affordable Roofing Systems, definitely a roofer you can trust.
Is anybody awake right now?
I don't know. It's a sleepy bunch.
Because on our Facebook page and our Facebook streams, even the Real Animals and the Hubbard's Marina, not a lot of people commenting this morning.
It might be the weather. It might be a lot of people. Whenever we have funky weather, a lot of people are like, I am not getting up early. Definitely not getting up early.
I woke up I didn't sleep hardly last night. I'm so excited to get my truck back.
I'll bet you are.
It's been 3 days. I turned it in for some cosmetic surgery. She was in the shop for 48 hours, couldn't get the stuff to work, so I had to take it back, and now I've dropped it off. It's been 4 days.
And it's like COVID. You can't be in there with her.
Oh, I can't. We have to be separated. I miss her so much.
Jason Barrett was like, you guys really are some morons.
You haven't seen my truck, Jason, so.
Let's go to the phones here quick before we dive into this, because I'm afraid once we dive into it, we're going to be real busy. Let's get a freshwater report from our guru over there in beautiful Lake Alfred, Ronnie at Ron's Tackle Box. Ron, how are you, buddy?
Doing great this morning.
Talk to me.
Weather's beautiful. No problem here. I think we're going to get a little weather later today. Good time to be out here this morning. Plenty of shellcracker bite. Been fantastic, especially we have running water now, so they thrive with that.
A little bit of rain helps, right?
Fish in the mouth of the canals and any little drop off, just the slightest drop off in the lake, they'll be laying there.
Nice.
It's real good. Bluegill fishing's good. The speckled perch has kind of dropped off some. They're still getting some pretty nice sized ones out here when they do catch them, but not big numbers. Bass fishing, great. A lot of schooling bass, some nice sized bass, 6, 7, 8 pound size. Lip with crankbaits are your best deal. Shiner fishing, of course, is always good. But we had a pretty good week this week. A lot of activity. A lot of people in town on vacation, spring break in different parts of the country, so they're down here enjoying our weather, enjoying our fishing.
You know, it was
nice.
Interesting to me. I shot a show with Chris Kingery up on the Apopka chain, and he was looking for, like, schooling bass. Like, he was like, keep your eyes open across the lake. You'll see them come to the surface. And I'm like.
Like Jack Crevel?
I mean, we never really saw it. We saw
not that active.
Yeah, not quite that active, but they do come to the surface. Like, we saw
mullet.
A fish or two come up and bust baits. And then he was like, okay, they're over there. So we went over. I'd never seen that before. And again, I'm not, obviously people know I'm not a great bass fisherman, obviously.
Is that spawning behavior?
They get groups of, 20, 30 of them at a time, and they're running through the water, and you'll see that wake.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Whoa.
That's why.
Yeah, I was like they're going to be on the surface, dude?
I'm going to YouTube that for sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cool video to watch.
It was just, it was interesting. I mean, we only saw a little bit of it that day. We had to grind. I think we talked about it. We had to work for our fish. We caught them, but we had to work. But I thought it was interesting. The times I did see it across the lake, I'm like, oh, hey, there was one. I mean, it just coming to the surface. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know if maybe I'm the only one.
No, I think that's really cool. Is that spawning behavior, Ron, or is that just them working together to feed on the
I
bait?
don't believe so. It's just a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, so they're schooling up those shiners and working together to bust that school
There's
up.
There's still bass spawning out here. It goes on through April from what I understand, and there's still some bedding fish. But a lot of them you see at the shoreline right now are tilapia. A lot of tilapia fishing right now. It's real good. They love redworms too, so nice fish to eat, and plenty of 2, 3 pound fish are real good eating size. Plenty of them out here.
Good
But
stuff.
you'll see the beds. You'll think, oh, look at the bass beds, but it's not. It's tilapia.
Okay.
What was the big bass this past week?
8 pounds.
Ooh, that's a solid
That's a good fish, yeah.
Yep,
Good
real
fish.
nice fish. Caught down here in Lake Rochelle, right down the street from me here.
That's the hot lake, Lake Rochelle, 8-pound bass. That's awesome.
Rochelle's good.
Yeah.
Out of all the lakes, when I ran my tournaments for 20 years, I kept records. And the best fish and the most quality fish were caught in Lake Rochelle out of all these lakes in the county that we fished.
554 of them.
That produced the best.
554 lakes in Polk County. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Polk County, Polk County, the CCA banquet is going to be next Thursday. I will be there.
Oh, wonderful.
Bartow Civic Center is where we will be. Beth and I will be there.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good turnout.
Good stuff. Yeah, hopefully it usually is. The Polk County event is always a good event. Look forward to seeing everybody out there. If you are interested and don't have tickets yet, then get a hold of them and come on out and see us. Tell everybody how they can find you, Ronnie.
Right. I would make one more comment. I was watching the news the other night, and they were saying 65 people per day are moving into Polk County.
Wow.
I believe it.
So they're going to really crowd us in here.
They just keep
Welcome
coming.
to our fun, Ron.
It's all the quality leadership, all the
right.
quality leadership in the states up north, sending everybody south. God bless them.
Yeah, send them down here.
God bless them.
Anyhow, I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990.
You
Awesome.
Give me a call, and I'll put you in a good spot.
You're the freshwater guru, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
You know, on
Thanks,
that,
guys.
Bye, buddy.
see you, Ron. On that topic you just mentioned, it was funny when I was doing all those interviews. I told you I did all those job interviews last week. We were looking to hire people. We still are needing a few people, but much less dramatic now. So I did like 40 some odd interviews. I would say more than half, probably 3/4 of the people that showed up for their interviews had all moved to Florida within the last year. I mean, and
Did
almost,
you ask them why?
I did. Every single one of
What
them.
did they say?
All of them, resounding. I had to escape. One guy was like, it was like living in Nazi Germany. Yeah, that's
what he said?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was all
great.
COVID lockdowns. All the reason they moved.
It's so incredible, dude.
That was mind blowing to
Yeah,
me.
we just keep voting them back in. It's just amazing. It makes no sense.
So-
Yes, let's do this. Let's do this. This was
Speaking of things that raise your blood pressure,
Yeah, this happened. This happened at the beginning of this. Just before the show went on the air, my partner in crime here brings this up. So go ahead.
yeah. So recently they just had what's called the Recreational Fishing Summit. I was invited. Unfortunately, couldn't make it because it was this past week. Next week I've got the Gulf Council meeting for a week, and then the week after that we have a week-long marine resource education program.
Busy.
So I had to kind of pick and choose what I could attend, and chose to go with those 2 week-long meetings that are a big part of my life, and neglected the Rec Fishing Summit. But some of my buddies from the Charter Fishing Association went up there, and man, the news that came out of that, and I've heard it from more than one source, from NOAA staff, from Gulf Council staff, from leadership, and then from charter fishermen that were up there. Basically, what we're going to ask you guys as listeners of the show is we want your input on this. Are recreational fishermen like golfers? Let me explain that statement. What was stated at the Rec Fishing Summit by a recreational fishing advocacy group was that recreational fishermen are like golfers. They don't care what fertilizers put on the golf course. They don't care how often it's mowed. They don't care about the intricacies or nitty-gritty of managing that golf course. They just want to go out and play golf. Is that true to you? Do you just want to go out and go fishing? Or do you care about the fishery and the nitty-gritty of why regulations are made? Or do you care about having input on those regulations? Or do you feel that your opinion should be heard on those regulations? Or should you just join this fishing group and let them worry about the details while you just go out there and fish?
You should have seen the look on Dylan's face when I totally agreed. I totally agree with that statement. I think the recreational anglers, for the most part, the majority of you are just like golfers.
I almost walked out when he said it.
You could care less.
I was like, no, that's not true at all. I think the majority of recreational fishermen are not like golfers. I mean, look at hunters. I think we're the same as hunters or any outdoors enthusiasts. We care about the resource. We go out there. You go on the
I didn't say they don't care. I don't say they don't care. A golfer cares.
No, that's what
a golfer cares. When he goes to the golf course, he wants that golf course to be beautiful, and he wants to play a nice round of golf, and he wants to smoke his cigars and drink his beer. But he doesn't want to think about it when he leaves. He wants to drive away from the golf course and let somebody else take care of it. And that's what the recreational anglers are doing.
I see your viewpoint. The thing that maybe the analogy wasn't made clear as I should have to you prior to the show is essentially the what was raised at this rec fishing summit is that recreational fishermen just want to go out and go fish. They don't necessarily care for the longevity. They just want access to as many fish as they can, and it doesn't matter about what happens next week or next year. They just want to get out in the water today and catch as many fish as they can.
See, and I think you and I think this is where you're coming in skewed. You're coming in skewed because your brain works like my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only our livelihood, it's one of our passions.
Well, that was the second half of this, is they're not like charter fishermen who do this for a living. That's not their livelihood, so they don't care about the nitty-gritty. Whereas charter fishermen, this is our livelihood. This is what we want for our future generations, and we want to help other future generations experience the sport, so we care more. So that's why it's different for us.
See, and I'm got to tell you, I totally disagree with that too.
Yeah.
Because you say charter captains, and to me, that puts a blanket over all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you right now, the charter captains suck. Dude, all they do is sit on the dock and complain and whine about, more regulations, all this stuff. They don't do anything.
Yeah. I would say for actually,
let me ask you this. How many members, let's play. How many members you got in the Florida Guide Association?
I don't want to say.
How many members?
There is, I did a FOIA request with FWC and got the numbers on how many charter licenses are issued in the state. There's 4,355 charter licenses in the state of Florida.
How many members are there in Florida Guide Association?
150.
Yeah. I rest my case. I'm just saying, dude, for the most part, even the charter captains don't really care. All they want to do is sit around and bitch and piss and moan and complain about the stuff and not get involved and fix it.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the recreational anglers. And I hope that some of you are listening and you're mad as hell, and maybe I'm wrong, but you got to prove it to me. I don't see anything. 350,000 members of CCA in the country?
Yeah. I mean, the state of Florida, there's around 20,000 members of CCA Florida, and how many fishermen? Countless.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. The outdoor sports in the water contribute 77% of the Florida economy. That's crazy. Over 790 million or billion? I forget what it is.
It's in the B's.
Yeah,
it's not
crazy.
in the M's, I can promise you. It's in the B's.
Yeah,
it's a multi-billion-dollar industry in the state of Florida, and we get no support. People do not rally behind any of this stuff, and it drives me nuts.
It is. It is infuriating, and that's one of those things where I am blessed that I get to be a part of it, and it's a lot of work. It's a big labor of love, but I think of it as it's our responsibility.
But I think what happens to us is we get, when I said what I said, you looked offended. Like the recreational, what? Because in your brain, you care about it so much, and you're a recreational fisherman that you're like, yes, we do. We care about it. No, you care about it. And a handful of us care about it.
Yeah.
In the big picture, it's only a handful. And that's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, a couple hundred people show up at a CCA Pinellas County banquet? Are you kidding me? The whole county is surrounded by saltwater.
I think it was less than a couple hundred, unfortunately.
I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I don't see any, and I'd love to hear from y'all. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see them, and trust me, I hate golf.
And that's
so
the
labeling
question.
Us as being like golfers is not pleasant to me.
Do you want the info? Do you want to be educated? Do you want to know why? Or do you just want to get out there on the water and fish?
Let us know. Yeah, let us know. Light
1-800-969-9352.
We'll be back. Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust, a company that is clean. He promised. I won't yell.
It's an interesting question.
It's a very interesting question.
Now that you put it to me like that, now I'm questioning my whole reality.
Well, I'm just, again, I think you are correct. If Dylan Hubbard is my subject matter, then yeah, he's wrong. If you look at the overall recreational anglers, he's spot on.
You know, what's funny too is my buddy who brought this to me, who called the gentleman out for making the comment and really laid into him about it, is another younger charter captain like me.
He's thinking, and he's thinking, and if he's your subject,
yeah,
he's at the meeting.
Yeah.
He does care. But dude, you're one of
he's even more involved than I am.
Multi-gazillions.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is 110% correct. They don't give a shit. They're worried about making a living, feeding their family all week, and they're worried about going fishing once a month. And they don't think about it, or they think about it in passing while they're in their car listening to us. And then they don't think about it again. That's our shortcoming in this whole deal. There's more, there's more people that give a shit about guns.
Yeah.
Hell, there's 6 million members of the NRA. If we had 6 million members of CCA nationally, we'd be changing some shit. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Got to get involved.
Look how much money CCA would have at $35 a person. At 6 million. Stir in that pot.
One spoon at a time. We got Mike all riled up. We'll see where that one goes. Kenny Christensen, I agree, buddy. Yingling is number one. Brett Barnes, we don't use Garmin Live Scope on our boats. We're U.S. Coast Guard inspected, so our through hulls have to be inspected, and we're very, very restricted on size of through hulls, number of through hulls, and those live scopes require some pretty hefty through hulls, so we don't use any of the side scan, live scan, any of that stuff. We don't have any of that on our Coast Guard inspected vessels. But I've seen it before. I think it's really cool, and I would love to try it. And Garmin, in my opinion, makes really, really great products. We use Garmin across our entire fleet now. So any boat you step on is fully outfitted or will be fully outfitted with Garmin products. And highly recommend the Garmin relief shading. Really, really cool stuff. Mike is a Ray Marine guy. He loves Ray Marine, and Ray Marine has some really cool products, but I am 100% Garmin. Really easy to use, super intuitive. One cool thing that I like about the Garmin is they have these big touchscreen displays, and you see a fish show. You can keep moving around the spot and getting the layout of the ledge, and then you can scroll back and find the biggest where those fish are laying. Before you had to try to write it down. Oh, we're back.
Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back. News Radio WFLA, Real Animals Radio Show, and we are talking all about recreational fishermen and whether you guys are like golfers. Do you care about the nitty-gritty, or do you just want to get out there and play golf? So we want to hear from you, 1-800-969-9352. If you want to join the conversation, let us know. And I promise I will try to hold Mike back from yelling at you.
No, we're not going to yell. We're not going to yell. I mean, everybody gets to have an opinion, okay? This isn't like the rest of the country where you can't have an opinion. If your opinion doesn't match
we will
ours,
not censor you.
Yeah, if your opinion doesn't match ours, doesn't make it the wrong opinion. Everybody can have an opinion. Real Animals, all about opinions. You can have an opinion. I'm okay with that. We've had that conversation before.
I like it. All
right, let's go to Scott.
We can disagree and still be friends.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go to Scott in Williston. Scott, how are you this morning?
I'm good, sir. How are y'all, gentlemen?
We're good. We're good. What you got for us?
So, I'm sure you know I live in Williston, and I fish the Yankeetown, Inglis, Cedar Key, Steenhatchee area a lot.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful area.
I'm a long-time, first-time caller, but this kind of touched the nerve. I play golf. I suck at it, but I still play it. But I still have some sort of etiquette and respect towards everybody else. And when I go to certain boat ramps, and I'm not going to name them, I think the recreational fishermen and the charter fishermen act just like golfers out on a golf course. The boat ramp etiquette, the boat ramp parking, the trash. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but I don't want to raise my blood pressure. So I'm not going to take any side, but I see both sides of it. And a lot of charter fishermen and a lot of recreational fishermen put us in that conversation, the ones that do follow etiquette and ramp rules and dispose of our trash properly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I mean, that brings in a whole different side of this discussion.
That's a whole nother, that's a whole nother
like
side of it. Yeah, I like it too. That's a whole nother side of it that should be addressed, managing our outdoors together as.
And that comes into one of those things. I mean, in my opinion, you can't make rules about how to change people's just ethics. I mean, that's just bad ethics, maybe the way they were raised.
Poor parenting.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to throw away your trash. You're going to let trash go floating down the boat ramp into the water. I mean,
well, just rude people at the boat ramp in general.
I'm
backing your boat in the water and then loading it up. Like, dude, you've been in line for 20 minutes to launch that thing and you didn't load it before you got up there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love the fishing area where I live at.
You should.
And I have twin power poles, so if I launch by myself, I can put the poles down by the ramp, hurry up, go park my truck, and opens up the space for somebody else to get in.
Sure.
And I just think that whole golf ring reference, I see it 100%. I see it every weekend, pretty much.
I think he's right too.
I love the show. I'm gonna hang up. You guys have a good day.
Scott, thanks for chiming in. Great call. That's what we open it up for discussion. Your thoughts. Our private recreational anglers are we, and we put Dylan and I are both recreational anglers as well as charter captains because we like to fish. Are we golfers? Are we like golfers? We just want to show up, fish, and then leave. We don't care what the water looks like. We don't care what we do to the future of it. We just
the water quality thing, don't even get me started on that. Nothing makes me more frustrated than a big red tide event happens, all these dead fish roll up, and then all of a sudden we've got water activists everywhere on Instagram screaming and yelling about water quality. And then 2 weeks later,
once all the dead fish are cleaned
crickets.
Yep. Once all the dead fish are cleaned up and you don't have any more dead fish in your backyard in the canals over there on Pinellas Point, then we don't hear from you anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredibly frustrating. Neil Holland has something cool coming up, actually, on that exact issue. Let me pull that up so we can share it with everybody.
I love Neil Holland. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Super good guy. So phone lines are open. Your questions, comments, fishing reports. Definitely your comments on the topic at hand. Are you like a golfer? To me, that's offensive. But I get it.
I've been golfing once, and I don't remember it because I just got drunk. I'm terrible at it.
It's terrible. 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
I drank a lot of beer, and then I went to the pro shop, ate a bunch of food, and left.
There's words I use for golf that I can't use on the radio.
I think golf is cool people like golf, and I get it. It is fun, but it takes a lot of practice to get good at golf and a lot of patience. And I've only got so much practice and patience available in this life. I like to focus that on fishing and guns. But I don't hate golf. I get it. A lot of people like golf. I think behind fishing, it's probably one of the great outdoor pastimes. Fishing and hunting, I should say. It's behind fishing and hunting, in my opinion. What was I doing? Looking up Neil Holland's water event. It's actually an event that Captain Neil Holland has going on with I missed it. It was March 30th. Son of a sailor. I knew there was we should have promoted that one. Messed up. Hopefully Neil will call us and give us a rundown about it. If you're out there, Captain Neil Holland. Bill, amen to that. Bill on the stream said, respect, treat people like you want to be treated. Amen to that. Goes a long way. I think today's society, we're so quick. If we disagree or don't get along or we have opposing views, then we have to be enemies and we hate each other. And that's not true at all. Like Mike said, we can have opposing views and still get along. Jason Richmond, there's some boat ramps near Johns Pass. The closest boat ramp to Johns Pass would be Jungle Parada. It's off of Park Street where the red brick section of Park Street is. That is the closest boat ramp, literally directly across the intercoastal from us. Then to our north, Madeira Beach Municipal Marina has a boat ramp. And then a little further the north than that, Park Boulevard boat ramp would probably be the easiest because it's kind of a straight shot from the interstate. So if you want to launch and go out of Johns Pass, Park Boulevard boat ramp, Madeira Beach Municipal boat ramp, Jungle Parada boat ramp. South of that, I think Maximo has. Does Maximo Marina have a public boat ramp?
No, the Marina does not, I don't believe.
So O'Neill's Marina is not close to Johns
Park.
Maximo Park has one. O'Neill's Marina is way to the south, but they're...
O'Neill's Marina is right there by Maximo Park. Right next door.
All right, so both of those are way to the south. They're asking about a boat ramp near Johns Pass. I would say Madeira Beach... Oh, Bay Pines boat ramp. I forgot about that.
Right there at the...
They have a public boat ramps there?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about at the VA.
Right across the street from
Thanks, Mike.
Pro
I'm glad
Marine.
he walked back into them.
Right across the street from Pro Marine.
Yeah, so Jungle Parada, Bay Pines, Madeira Beach Municipal, Park Boulevard. Those would be the best options. Probably Bay Pines would be the biggest, closest.
It's a nice ramp.
It is.
Yeah.
Be careful going in and out of it, though.
Well, there's some,
Stay in the channel.
yeah, there's some chunkers.
Yeah. I had a 17-foot Carolina skiff real young, and we used to camp at that island all the time. My dad would just kind of escort us out there on a Friday night, and we'd stay out there by ourselves. So much fun. He'd randomly show up on the jet ski at night to check on us. We never knew when he was coming.
Nice.
He was like a Navy SEAL. All of a sudden, show up at the fire. Yeah, we always had lookouts. That was a good time.
Well, we got 2 calls from some peoples.
Mm-hmm. We can get them stirred up, talk about what's going on at the... Hey, did you see that new Fwc directive on redfish?
No.
Yeah, they're totally changing redfish management. Pretty interesting.
So what?
We talked about it on the show, but that was the week that you were out. I talked about it with Charlie Howe, Captain Charlie Howe, before that last FWC meeting. Then the FWC meeting, they discussed it and approved to move forward.
To do what?
They're basically changing management benchmarks. Instead of looking at escapement rates and kind of managing by the escapement rate, they're taking like a more holistic kind of ecosystem-based fishery management approach, where they're looking and taking into account water quality issues, and they're also segmenting and regionalizing management like to a huge finer detail. Like
Good.
There'll be a Tampa Bay redfish, like a north, like there's a Sarasota Bay, Charlotte Harbor. Like it's very granular, the approach they're taking on it.
Good.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah. But it'll be a while before they get to it, but they proposed it and approved it.
Double bonus. Double bonus. Mike and Pinellas. I don't know if this is our crazy caller.
That's very vague.
You'll know if I don't leave him on very long. We have a gentleman who calls in and tends to get a little political.
Yeah.
Management or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
We have to put a disclaimer on this show because you never know what Dylan's going to say.
That's how you know it's a good show, though. If there's a disclaimer, that's how you know.
They want to guard themselves against what could possibly be said because you never know. So hopefully we touched a nerve this morning, 1-800-969-9352. I want to put a quick programming note out there. April 19th, we're going to be at Bartow Ford for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation. D-Hubs himself, Captain Dylan Hubbard, and the infamous Mike Mahoney will be there talking some offshore fishing. We're going to have Cubans and crabs and stuffed potatoes from our good friends at Silver Ring Cafe out there on U.S. Highway 301 in Riverview. Going to have a ton of giveaways, Bull Bay rods, Engel coolers, all that good stuff. So we will be loading you up with some goodies, some Real Animal swag. Going to be from 6 to 8 this time.
You know what's scary?
Time change on this. They hollered at me. They want to do 6 to 8 this time. So
note of that.
Yeah, note to self. 6 to 8, April 19th. That's a Tuesday. Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation. Make sure you put it in the book. Going to be a good one for sure. I want to rattle through some of these calls because we definitely woke up the
sleeping bear
fishing community here this morning. Let's check in with Mike in Pinellas. Mike, are you a golfer or are you a fisherman?
Well, I play with the green, but it's only because of my profession. I'm in the world's oldest profession. He set me in the garden to dress and keep it. However, I have been a collector of finned fauna and fowl in my past and enjoy catching and keeping and eating them, along with my salads. The thing that concerns me most is that men that have not stepped up and have not been men to, I don't know, I think Mike Tyson said, all your plans go until somebody punches you in the mouth. When you start doing stupid things, like playing stupid at the ramp or driving crazy in traffic or saying you can't keep a fish because it's not a fish, it's a fish, and some of the other things that are happening all over the planet today. It's really strange. Where are the men that need to stand up and say, no, don't keep the fish. They're producing roe or eggs in this time of year, and say this is a reasonable thing to do.
So you need better. Good call, Mike. We appreciate you. So Mike wants better leadership. Sounds like to me, right?
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
I did too. Good call there, Mike. Leadership. Let's check in with Greg and Brandon. Greg, are you a fisherman or a golfer?
A little bit of both.
Okay, come on. I like it.
Golfing wise, I play with a persimmon wood still, so that tells you that part.
Okay. Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Fishing, I'm a recreational avid fisher. I try to fish as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
My parents grew up on the very end of John Moore Road on the Alafai River. They're still there.
Nice.
They didn't start, but there's an organization called Citizens Against River Pollution. That really made a big impact. The community has to stand up and protect our environment and our waterways. They did a good job against Mosaic. It wasn't Mosaic then, it was somebody else. When I go out fishing, I don't mind, hey, only 4 trout, 1 red, 1 snook. I'm okay with that, because in years past, when there was really no limits, we'd go out and slay them, bring home 15, 20 trout, bunch of reds, and what happened? You flay them, you put them in the freezer, 6 months later, you throw them away. So conservation-wise, I'm fine. I try to make a point when I fish the Upper Tampa Bay area. I have one of those garbage grab sticks. I'm always bringing garbage back home with me. Mm-hmm. I spend more time cutting line out of mangrove trees than I do fishing at times. But I love the catch and release concept.
So you think
I joined CCA right after Piney Point spill.
Nice.
I would go out and I even called you guys and said, hey, I just went up out of the mouth of the Alafai River, and I just can't believe the dead fish. It's just breaks your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the side where you think this guy that said the private recreational anglers are like golfers. You totally disagree.
Totally disagree.
Okay, I like it, and I want more people. I want more people to be active like you.
I'm glad someone disagrees.
I want more people to be active like you, to be members of CCA Florida, actually care. My problem with it is I don't think there's enough Gregs out there.
And I
you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's enough people like you doing what you're doing.
I agree completely. There's definitely
I think there's a lot of Gregs out there, but they don't have time to really embrace what CCA and conservation is all about. They want to, but they just don't have time.
But don't you think that's the beauty of an organization like CCA Florida is that you can just become a member.
Well, that's what this guy was
crazy
saying.
Busy.
That's what this guy was saying is if you're crazy busy, just join this advocacy group and we'll take care of everything.
Absolutely.
We'll worry about the nitty gritty. My thing and what I was saying is, and what I disagreed with about the statement is recreational fishermen care and they want to know the nitty gritty. They want the details. They want the education. Like Greg's out there cutting lines out of mangroves because he knows that can endanger seabirds. He's picking up trash out of the water that he knows can further pollute the water and hurt water quality issues.
Do you think there's more Gregs out there than there is non-Gregs?
I think people want to learn and want to know why and want to know the reasons behind the issues. We don't want to just get emails about this issue's going on. We don't agree with it. Call your congressman and tell him to do X. We want to know why this issue is an issue. We want to know the reasons behind it. We want to learn more. I think private recreational anglers care about the sport. They care about the fishery. They care about the sustainability, and they want to be a part of the solution, not the problem, but they need to know how.
Greg, it's a great call, brother. We appreciate it.
Have a great week.
Thanks, buddy. You too. Good stuff right there from Greg for sure. What did I do? I don't know.
You hung up on somebody.
I did. I don't know who I did. Oh, Greg. Okay. Jason's got it. JB's got it. I got you. He's like, I got you, dog. Let's check in quick. Let's go to. I think we need to go to. Let's go to Joanne Day next. I know she wants to talk about a fishing tournament coming up. Joanne, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Talk to us. You got a big tournament coming up, yeah?
Yes, I do. Oh. It is next weekend. I have captain's meeting April 9th at 3 o'clock, and they all come in Sunday at 2. It ends at 2, and it is a catch and release tournament. I want to stress that.
Okay. What are we catching? Snook, redfish, and trout?
Okay. It is going to be trout, redfish, and snook.
Okay.
And it's a $6,000 total prize money.
Nice.
They can win more than once, so there's a team that can win up to $3,000.
That's
and
cool.
That's a
I'm
lot
having
of money.
this tournament, and I have a lot of raffles, and I have a lot every year. I have like maybe 30 raffle baskets. I have maybe up to 10 silent auctions. I have 50-50, and all the proceeds from this go to Tidewell Hospice.
Nice. Okay.
Great cause.
That is a good cause. Good cause.
All the money I raise goes directly to them, and I do that because I had, my son passed away of glioblastoma brain cancer.
Yep.
And he was an avid fisherman. He loved to fish. So that's why I do the fishing tournaments, and Tidewell was there helping out, and they did a great job. Good. And that's why I raised money for them through the fishing tournaments.
Well, God bless you for your work, and sorry for your loss there, but it's awesome to hear that your tournament's going on. I know we talked about this tournament last year, and feel free to call in next weekend and let us know how everybody's doing. Let us know what you got for fish, all right? Let us know who wins.
Okay, great.
All right?
All right, yeah.
How do they? What's the best way for them to get more information, Joanne? How do they get a hold of you?
Go to the Chad. It's Chad Day, CHADDAY .profishingtournaments.com.
There you go. Awesome.
They can register, find out all the information, look at past tournaments, and get everything there from that website.
Good stuff. Thank you, Joanne.
If anybody wants to contact me directly, my number is 941-228-5012.
Good call. We appreciate
Anybody
you.
has any questions?
Good luck with your event.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now we got to rattle through some calls because apparently
board is filling up.
We woke the bear. Let's go quickly to Bob in Bradenton. Bob, what you got for us?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to give you an angle from this morning when you both were doing a little bit of sword fighting over, what you both thought.
Animosity.
I'll lend you a different thought to this, and I'm a fisherman, by the way. So far back that FCA was what the association was called when I was really hard at it. But here's the thing. I think that in anything there's associations, whether it be FCA or whether it be a work function, that do help things out. But I think the key to realize with that is in any association like that that's going to do some good, 10% of the people of that association do 100% of the work.
Yep.
I mean, that's just human nature. It's a fact. Everybody can't do that much, but I think it's a reality. And I think you both were right this morning, earlier on.
But I challenge that, though.
Key to, growing those numbers for FCA, like the prior gentleman mentioned, they can't necessarily participate and get on the board and do things, but they can do small things and help out with tournaments and things of that nature. But I think you guys were both right this morning for what you were talking about. It just maybe didn't zero in on that part of it.
But don't you think? But don't you think? And I know I use this example all the time. But look at the NRA. 6 million. There's 6 million members of the NRA. And that's why those losers don't take your guns. They can't take your guns because they're afraid of losing 6 million votes. And that's why I get so upset, because we have millions and millions and millions of anglers right here in Florida, yet we've only got 350,000 members of CCA nationally. If we had 3 million members of CCA nationally, or 6 million members, or 20 million members like we should have, you would be able to get more done because the politicians would then listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They would take what we say serious.
But to his earlier comment about 10% of the people doing 90% of the work, I think that's 100% the problem, and that's what a lot of people take.
I'm not saying that I agree with that.
Yeah, no, and I didn't think you did.
Saying that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, and I see it. I mean, I'm blessed to be the president of the Florida Guides Association, and our board is very small, and we definitely do a lot of work. We have some great team members, but it is a lot that goes into it, and I think that's a big part of the problem, that if 90% of the people were doing 100% of the work, we get 100% further.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Bob, it's a great call, brother. I'm up against the break.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bobo.
All right, brother.
All right, good job. Good call for sure. Good calls. I love the passion. We got Ron in North Bradenton, I think that is, maybe. And then we've got Captain Lisa Fitzgerald from CCA Florida, the legend herself. We've got William in Crystal River, and we've got our safe boating tip from Captain Jim Fogel to get in. So we got lots of stuff coming your way. Don't touch that dial, 1-800-969-9352. We'll be back.
Are you in the market to purchase or refinance a home? Is your current
people that don't call very often.
Awesome.
Nice job.
Thank you.
It was a good topic. The fresh blood helps.
Yeah, it's the topic of our FGA newsletter this month too. I mean, I think that's.
I need to become a member.
When you were talking about it, I was like, well, you're not a member. But I wasn't going to put that out there.
You're not even a member, dude. I have been a member in the past. How do I become a member? I don't even know how to become
Through
a member.
our website.
Okay.
Yeah, Florida-guides.com.
Florida-guides.com. I have to go there and do that. Okay.
Yeah, we just launched our new website, and we're still working a few bugs out of it, but it's getting better. So if you have problems, let me know. But
Can you text me that?
Mm-hmm.
So I know where I'm going later. And I'll get that done today.
Cool.
So we don't have that hurdle to get over in our discussions later.
So I can't throw that one at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that photo of my daughter crying with the Waffle House shirt, I was dying laughing.
Poor parenting.
I couldn't even respond.
That's what I thought. I thought, well, he got busy or he's laughing.
That's just poor parenting.
I didn't know how else to respond, but I thought, well, yeah, poor parenting.
Did you show Beth that one?
No, I did not, but I should. She went home.
I thought she was going to get a crack out of that one.
He wants to miss the April 9 fishing. That's that tournament, right? The Chad Day.
April. Today is April. Today is the April 2nd Michael Magley tournament. Supposed to be today. I was the host of it. They canceled it because of the weather.
Well, April 9th. This guy's looking for the information. I missed the April 9th fishing. Please give the name again. That's the Chad Day Pro Fishing Tournament.
Yes. Is this on the stream?
Yeah, it's on the stream. So that's what you're looking for right there. You're looking for that Chad Day Professional Fishing Tournament. Joanne Day is her name. She's a lady that just called in about that. Ooh, John and Hudson. We are loaded.
Chad Day Pro Fishing Tournament. Tournament.com, I think it was.
I think so too.
There it is. Let's see if the link works. Nope. Chad Day Pro Fishing Tournament.
Weird. Joe Biden.
What?
CNN. I love CNN. Such a great channel.
Did you just say you love CNN?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure we're on the same page there.
Economy's on the move. It's
Hey,
on the move.
You know we're back, right?
Jason Behringer's looking at us like, hey, anytime now. Fools. Let's, again, I've got a bunch of callers on the line. I really want you guys to hang tight so we can do that. I want to get through this safe boating tip of the week here. Captain Jim Fogel, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Jimmy, I am
Good morning.
Slammed up. We got them riled up. So let's give a safe boating tip here.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it here. All right, I want to talk about the fact, that we talk about EPIRBs and personal locator beacons and radios and how important they are to help you in case of an emergency. But remember, they are just a tool. They are one tool in your toolbox of things that you want to use to get home. They're credited with saving all kinds of lives every year, and they are an important part of it. But guys and gals, they won't keep you afloat. They won't keep you warm. They are just a way of letting the Coast Guard and other boaters know where you are and that you are in trouble. So please use a lot of common sense. Put those life jackets on before you need them. Make sure you have a float plan filed, and use common sense when you're out there. Don't go out in a 17-foot boat in small craft warnings.
Amen.
Don't go out to the middle grounds or the elbow if your boat has not been out and about in deep and blue water before and you're not accustomed to it. You got to use common sense. You got to do that in order for us to help you get home.
It's like we were talking about earlier. You got to be ethical at the boat ramp. It's sad we have to talk about this stuff.
All right.
It really is.
Yeah, there goes. That's the old common sense thing again,
Mm-hmm.
It's not very common.
Prior preparation.
Prior planning prevents Something like that.
Yeah.
Poor performance.
Yeah, I didn't know how to say it on the radio.
Common sense is not so common.
I understand. I'm trying to water it down for you.
Thank you, Captain Fogel.
Great show this morning, captains. You guys keep it up.
Thank you.
I had something I wanted to say about it, but I don't want to connect it to my safe building.
He's good.
He's good. Jim Fogel's good. He's been around a long time doing it the right way. We appreciate you, Jimmy.
Thanks a lot for the time, guys. For the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete's, Jim Fogel. Be safe out there.
Thank you, brother. Great call, as always. Captain Lisa Fitzgerald is next, but I only have a little window here, so we're going to go to Ron. He's been on hold for a long time as well. Hopefully Lisa can hold on because I want to make sure we talk a little CCA Florida. Let's go to Ron here, North Bradenton. Are you in North Bradenton, Ron?
North Reddington Beach.
Oh, Reddington. Okay, I got you. Sorry, buddy. Talk to me
Just
there.
up the road from Captain Dylan.
Yes, sir.
Which then I have to say I am not a Waffle House fan, but we'll go on from there.
Amen.
Hey, there's a lot of Gregs out here. We're all Gregs. We all go ahead and we clean up wherever we see it. We don't look for recognition. We just do it. Captain Jim, you cannot pass that guy up. I had to turn the radio up. Yeah, turn your radio down. No, Captain Jim comes on. I know about the common sense, but on the other side, when you hear Captain Jim talking, it's a reminder. I've played spotter for many a captain, but when I hear his tips come on out, it's a reminder to me. It's like a refresher course every Saturday and Sunday.
I agree.
So thanks, guys. I said my 2 cents. By the way, Mike, welcome home, brother. I'm an Air Force vet also, 73 to 79.
Thank you.
SP.
Thank you for your service, my friend.
Right, thank you.
Good stuff.
No, I say welcome home to our brotherhood, but that's how we are.
Yes, sir.
0.9% of us have ever worn a uniform, but that's a whole different story. But, guys, there's a lot of us Gregs out here, and a lot of us that have played spotter on the bow when you guys have told us to do so. And let's not forget that, too. So, thanks, guys.
Great
Hey,
call.
thank you.
Great call. Lots of passion there. Lots of passion.
He lives right down the road from Knockman's.
He does? Knockman's.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I liked about that call? He said Saturday and Sunday. He
There you
listens
go.
to both shows. He listens to the Bartow Ford show here on
And then he
Saturday.
adores
and
the Sunday morning
T.A.
show.
Mahoney Company, the B team.
Got him.
It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. We've got just about 30 seconds or so left here, and obviously Captain Lisa Fitzgerald is up next. William in Crystal River. Can't wait to hear William's take on our topic this morning. John and Hudson, all three of you are up on the other side. Please don't go anywhere. Again, we appreciate it. We got busy all here at one time, so we hate leaving you guys on hold, but the calls mean a great deal to us, too. If you want to join in, we got one more big segment here on the other side, then our little segment before the 8 o'clock hour, wrapping things up. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back.
News, traffic, and weather.
Yeah, that's
News Radio WFLA, an iHeart radio station.
Governor DeSantis
That's getting the ball rolling there, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Sheriff's Office on Friday.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, that's getting the ball rolling there.
The old
Good job.
muscle memory got you.
With what? Oh, yeah.
Monitor.
That's a good job, D-Hubs.
Thank you. Yeah, it clicked this morning.
What did?
That topic.
Yeah.
'Cause I was writing about it yesterday because I was poor at for the Florida Guides Association. That newsletter is at the first of each month, and so I was supposed to have already submitted it, but I was out this past week a few days because I wasn't feeling well, and he called me. He was like, "Dude, where's the report?" I was like. So then I had just got off the phone with my buddy and the guy from NOAA talking about this issue. So I wrote about it, and then this morning it was still fresh in my mind, so I was interested. I was more interested to see how people would react. Do you care about the nitty gritty, or do you not? Do you just want to get out in the water and fish and not think about it?
Yeah, I still think most people just want to go fishing. Because
I think tourists and stuff like that will just want to go fishing.
I think even the regular anglers, they just want to go fishing. They work hard all week, and they just want to go fishing, and they don't want to have to think about all the negative stuff. I've noticed through the years that when the radio show goes negative, when it goes something unruly or grumpy, the callers decline. because fishing is something people just want to enjoy. They don't want to think about the realities of the environment and all that stuff. They don't want to put that into what they love to go do. You know what I'm saying? They just want to go do it.
That explains why every time I talk about fishery management or do a Gulf Council meeting update, that people fall off my live stream.
That's what it is, though. But
Josh always yells at me. He holds up a sign that says stop because literally you can watch the numbers fall when I start talking about what's going on with the fishery.
They don't want to. They want to know how to catch them, where to catch them, when to catch them. They want to know everything is great out there, and they don't want to hear the realities of what we have to talk about.
Son of a sailor. I'm going to call my buddy on the way home and be like, dude, we were wrong.
That's just my opinion. Over the years, it seems like, if you get going on negative stuff with manatees and all that stuff, crickets.
That's sad.
It is. It's not, I believe what he's saying, it's a broad.
Look at hunters. Look at hunters. If they were going to start talking about deer changes, you'd have riots. All these guys would be showing up to meetings, right? Do you feel it's the same way with hunting?
I don't.
Am I just looking at the 10%?
I don't think
that's doing 90% of the work.
Yep. Think about how many hunters there are. Think about how many fishermen there are.
And I always get so frustrated because I talk to more experienced, I won't say older, but more experienced people in the industry, and I get frustrated when they're like, and they're jaded because they've been banging their heads against the wall for 30 years as the 10% doing 90% of the work.
Yep.
And it's like this crushing reality that
at
a very young age getting into this, that you're not going to change it, guys.
No, it's and again, I believe that we need more Dylan Hubbards. That's what we need. That's what drew me to you even more. Obviously, you and I like a lot of the same stuff, so we're going to be friends anyway. But what drew me to you professionally was all this, the way you took your job so serious. Like, I don't want to just talk about this. I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend the time, the effort, the energy. I want to know what the hell's going on up there. I'm going to get involved. People don't do that.
NOAA General Counsel brought her class down to my office yesterday to talk to me about MSA, the Magnuson-Stevens Act. It was really interesting. And NOAA General Counsel said I was educated.
You are.
A lawyer said I was educated.
You are very educated on that subject.
I was very, very touched by that. Very humbling.
Well, it's the truth. You've done a great job setting yourself up on the knowledge side of this whole game.
It's the Marine Resource Education Program.
Is that the one that I was at?
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't go well. It didn't go well for me. I tried.
We'll get you back in there.
I tried. I really did. I tried.
We'll get you back in there. I'll be like, I know this guy. Don't worry about him.
I don't think they'll let me back in the building.
Oh, we'll get you back in there.
After I threatened to throw that one little guy out the window, I think they were like, I don't think we're on the 4th floor. If he throws that guy out the window, we're going to be in trouble. I think as soon as the whole room got a little quiet when I looked over there and said, I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to him. Well, you're the only one in this room getting paid to be here. So we don't need your 2 cents. You got an agenda. Everybody's like, oh, big fella's veins popping out of his forehead.
But watch out.
I can't remember that little dude's name. He was with Ocean Conservancy.
That was that event that I was talking about with Neil Holland. Ocean Conservancy put on an event, and they got Tampa Bay waterkeepers, Tampa Bay estuaries, the once chair of the Gulf Council, Dr. Tom Frazier, who's head of science for the state of Florida, Captain Neil Holland. They had like 5 or 6 speakers, but it was March 30th. We missed it. So should have talked about that one because that's a cool event. But that was put on and funded by OC. OC does some good stuff. It's to me, it's like anything. Is you can not agree with somebody, but on certain issues you can get along with them. And there's some issues they do a good job on.
See, I screw that up when I threaten to toss him out the
you
window.
burnt the bridge.
It goes south. Welcome back. Got a lot of calls we want to get to here in this hour. Again, want to put a shout out if you're looking for a roof or a roof repair, shingle, metal, tile, or flat roof. Look no further than our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. Give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com.
Mike, real quick before we get to a caller, I know we got a full board, but I just want to put this out there. Seeing some comments in the Facebook stream, and this comes up a lot when we talk about this issue. When I'm saying get involved and be educated and all that, and mind the nitty gritty, I'm not saying you have to attend council meetings or go to FWC commission meetings. I'm not expecting that from anybody. I mean, we all have lives, we all have jobs, all of that. All I'm saying is join a group like CCA, FGA, the Captains for Clean Water, or just getting involved could be as easily as joining these mailing lists. You don't even have to spend the money. It'd be nice if you were giving the money to organizations that can help fight for you and fight for the fishery, but just be involved by getting educated on the subjects by joining mailing lists. It's free to join the Florida Guides Association mailing list, the CCA mailing list, the Captains for Clean Water mailing list, Tampa Bay Waterkeepers, and you get those emails, you get a minute to read them, then you're up to date with what's going on in the issues, and you can pick and choose how you want to be involved.
Knowledge is power. Speaking of power and knowledge mixed in one person, our good friend Captain Lisa Fitzgerald. She is the tournament director for the CCA Florida Star Tournament, angler extraordinaire. How are you, my friend?
Why, good morning, Mike. Good morning, Dylan. I'm doing well. Boy, this oak pollen really has whipped me here in the last couple days. But
Amen.
Other than that, great things going on. We're gearing up for the beginning of Star on Memorial Day weekend. And, you know, we're going to be making some really exceptional announcements. We have something coming up being announced on April the 7th on your friend and mine's show on the Florida Insider Fishing Report on Thursday. So I'm going to ask your listeners to watch that show because we're announcing something big and bodacious on that show regarding the Star competition and what you can win. But we still have a Contender, Pathfinder, and Spider boat available for tagged redfish. We still have 2 youth boats available for youth anglers, $10,000 for a tagged mahi-mahi, and then a total of $500,000 in prizes just for fishing over the summertime.
Which you're going to do anyway.
Yes.
You're going to do it anyway. You might as well be a member of CCA, and you might as well join the Star Tournament, win prizes.
You know, I just get so flabbergasted when I get people who call me who have captured a tagged redfish, and they know about the tournament, but they just didn't get themselves registered. And you go, I don't want to, you know, be ugly or sound derogatory, but you know, if you know about it, it's like insurance. I really stress that. It's like insurance. It's like having, you know, CETO or, you know, one of those things. So in case something happens, well, this is in case you catch a tagged redfish. And the rewards, my friends, are amazing.
Yeah, but and this is, you know, but insurance, you're just making the insurance guy rich. That's all you're doing there.
Right.
If you don't use it, if you need it, obviously insurance is a great thing.
Terrible. Don't compare this to insurance.
But in this case, not only are you ensuring that you're not the clown that has to call in and tell Lisa Fitzgerald that you caught the tagged redfish and that you could be winning a boat, but you forgot to get registered or too knot-headed to get registered or whatever. But here you can actually help conservation. It's a win-win.
You know, conservation, youth education, to date we've awarded $700,000 in college scholarships. This year it'll be a total of $800,000. And these kids are just going out and spending their summer fishing. We awarded one of the young men who won his scholarship during the pandemic didn't have a chance to get his scholarship in person. So on Thursday night at the Martin County banquet for CCA, we awarded his scholarship to him. And his mom said that that summer was the most memorable summer for her and for her friends because they spent their time fishing. They didn't spend their time in organized sports. They didn't spend their time watching him behind the laptop playing video games. They were out there every day on the water, walking a shoreline, going to a pier, having a friend taking him fishing. And that's what you have to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Make some memories.
Yep.
It's making memories. You're exactly right. And there are so many cool things. We have some really great new sponsors. We have Skinny Water Marine with their lithium batteries. We have Florida Marine Tracks. We have so many electric bike company. I've gotten a new electric bike, and let me tell you, I've mapped it out. It's going to take me hunting and take me fishing. I've been doing a lot of spillway fishing and a lot of fishing roadside, but it requires a lot of walking and carrying all my gear. And now all I have to do is put it in my bike, and shoom, I'm off to the next spot. So I'm pretty excited about that. We have custom Gnu and Piranha boats, Yamaha, Minn Kota Hummingbird. There are so many great prizes that you can win just for catching fish. But you were talking about picking up trash. And we have the Coast to Kick Plastic Trash Division, where everyone gets rewarded for picking up garbage out of the coastal waterways. Pick up a 5-gallon bucket and submit it, and you have the opportunity to win Costa sunglasses, power poles, all kinds of really great things. And it's just for doing something good for the environment. I don't know of another competition that engages anglers and non-anglers alike. And it's not about the biggest fish. It's any fish of any size.
Yeah, and the big thing I want to point out too, guys, is those listening to that list of all the prizes and the brands that are out there. Think about those brands that are supporting CCA and getting involved and supporting the fishery. And think about that next time you go to the shop to buy something.
It makes a difference.
Exactly.
Lisa, I got a full board. We sparked a nerve here this morning. But tell everybody how they can get signed up real quick.
They can go to ccaflstar.com, or they can give us a call on the phone, 844-387-7827, and we will get them registered right over the phone. Thanks, guys, and you have a great day, and keep on doing what you're doing.
You too. Keep up the great work, Lisa. We appreciate you. Good stuff right there, CCA Florida. I'm so sorry. Some people have been on hold forever. Let's go to William, who has been on hold for 28 minutes. God bless you, my friend. William, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Captain's doing fine. The sad thing about common sense is most people are shortchanged of it or like not to use it. The other thing that I should mention is apathy. People are apathetic. There's no way you can compare golfing with fishing in my mind, because there's so many rules and regulations tied to fishing that aren't even involved with golfing. All they care about is whether the green's clear or not.
Yeah.
But, people need to speak up and champion their champions that affects what's coming ahead of us. In other words, Dylan, you're a stalwart and a champion for what we can't say. A lot of people are apathetic. Sometimes I think that they're afraid to say something because it might put another regulation or stipulation on them. At some point, there's so many regulations, stipulations, we might as well not fish with a hook.
Yeah.
But again, it's frustrating. We can see the pollution around us. We need to be active. We need to speak up. We need to help champion and stand up for our champions and make them realize they speak for us and we care for them and we care for our environment.
Amen to that.
Great call, Willie. As always.
Thanks for holding on.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. Good stuff. William, always with a great call.
Always bringing the heat.
John in Hudson, 23 minutes on hold. Another rock star. John, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you for the great show, by the way. I really appreciate you bringing up about it, CCA. I just moved down to Florida in October of last year, still trying to learn the ins and outs of both salt and freshwater fishing here. But I was involved. I moved down from Virginia. I was involved in CCA in Virginia. And I got to tell anybody out there that's not familiar with it, go and investigate it and learn about it. It is a great organization. We had huge challenges in Virginia, particularly in the Chesapeake Bay, and fighting omega protein. They literally destroyed our striped bass fishing up there in the bay. And fortunately, the CCA has made a lot of inroads in that. Yes, they can be a political organization, but political organization that moves in ways that are very positive for us as sport fishermen. They're not a lot of people they hear conservation, they start thinking about the new Green Deal, they think about the people that are a little crazy about the environment, and that is not what the CCA is about. It's about being good stewards to the environment and our fisheries. So I can't encourage you guys enough out there. If you're not a member of CCA, please join, because the other benefit you get from it, besides the education and what they do to preserve our industry, is the fellowship. I met a great number of people that I started fishing with through that organization. So there's so many good benefits to being a member of the organization.
Multitude of reasons. John, we appreciate you listening, and we definitely appreciate you hanging on. That's a great call. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work with CCA for sure. I mean, I know you guys hear it from us, and you probably think we're just blowing smoke, but there it is from an angler from Virginia who, CCA was active up there and helped change their fisheries. So
they did a lot for striped bass in Chesapeake Bay. Let's
try to get one in here quick. We've got Lonnie in Sarasota. Lonnie, how are you?
All right, Mike and Dylan. Hey, the whole CCA thing, I think some of the problem here, I know with me, I grew up in Sarasota. I was born and raised here and fished with my dad for years. And until I started dealing with CB saltwater outfitters, I never even knew of CCA.
Right.
So I think, the average Joe goes to Walmart and picks up his fiberglass rod and goes fishing, If somehow the word needs to get out more as far as what CCA is all about, because I fish the CCA Star every year, and I've never won anything yet, but I keep hoping,
Well, I know people who have won, so it's your turn's coming.
There you go. Yeah, no, I think people just, and if we don't listen to you guys, a lot of people if you don't listen to you guys, they don't know about it either. So it's getting the word out. It's like we were on a big tournament here in Sarasota for a boys camp, and we're slowly growing, but it's a matter of getting the word out about it and letting people know what it's all about. So if people deal with people like CBs and the Economy Tackle and some of those places, you'll find out quicker.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's my take.
Well, and Lonnie, it's a great take. Thanks for holding, and thank you so much for listening. That's a great point. Knowledge is power.
Yep.
And that's what we try to do, and that's one of the things that I've always.
That's my point. Knowledge is power.
For sure, it's one of the things I've always, that's drawn me to Dylan in this business that we're in, is that, your family's been in this business for a long time. And then for you to come in as a young guy and then get so involved on the National Marine Fisheries side, do so much of a better job than I could ever do, keeping your calm in those silly, dumb situations where I just snap like an old sun-dried rubber band. It's a gift, though. It's a good thing, and it's helping all of us to get, because you brought a lot of knowledge to me, a lot of understanding to me. So knowledge is power. There's no doubt about that. Speaking of that, we're up against the clock, but on the other side, we're going to get a quick word in with Captain Scott Moore.
Speaking of knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is power right there, and that's one powerful dude, Captain Scott Moore. So we're going to talk to Scott and wrap this thing up on the other side. We'll be back, 970 WFLA. Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician?
Boom. Talk about a bow on the old gift wrap.
How you like us now?
That radar screen that I pointed to, that was 8 o'clock tonight.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Well, it's wet.
It's going to trap a lot of people. Hopefully everybody is inshore by then. I'm sure the Coast Guard will be doing that notice to mariners.
It won't trap me because I'll be at home watching basketball.
Coach K, baby. I just saw that.
Not until late, though. They didn't put that game on late.
You think he's
who cares?
He's going to take it home?
Why do they
put the best game on late?
Well, yeah, why?
They make you watch the first game.
No, I think they do that because of California.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and why do we care about California? California is a dumpster fire, okay? We should just chisel it off and shove it out into the ocean.
Dude,
it shouldn't even matter. Why do we have to wait and watch a game?
I'm gonna text you my favorite website ever, and
you
will deep dive it. Oh, I mean, it's just yeah, you'll just have to see it.
WhyIHateCalifornia.com.
It's called. Let me find it. It's not Radio PC, the name of the website.
Okay.
But the stuff they carry, it's aafnation.com. I'll text it to you so you can look it up after the show. But yeah, they have a bunch of really funny T-shirts, and that's one of them. Don't California my Florida,
or New York, it for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the name of the website.
I knew that. Oh, I like that. I like that. I need one of those shirts. Wear that at the beach.
No, I have my whole closet essentially is that.
My whole closet.
I like this one that I have is Benjamin Franklin, or no, it's George Washington on the front of the boat. He's waving the American flag. He's like, me and my homies would have been dropping bodies by now.
I love it. I gotta have one of those too. Well, D Hubs is costing me money at the break. Costing me money. It's all good. Let's get a quick call in with the legend himself, our very good friend, Captain Scott Moore. Scotty, how are you?
Great show. Great show. I was at a party in Tampa, beautiful downtown, the other day. Saw somebody sitting over there, went over, and I said, Bob Martinez, Governor.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you and CCA, that's the gift of the Florida anglers, made redfish game fish. That was one of the first things that CCA did for Florida. And I thank Bob. I took him fishing, and he's the one that helped put that all the way through. You know, CCA, Florida Guides Association, if you are a guide out there and you don't join Florida Guides Association and help with all the management, the state's asking us about fisheries, you want to join those two organizations. Okay, to help with our fishery, definitely. And things, the big thing that's changed though is on management is it's all based on science, and it's slow. That's the problem with most of our fishery out there. It takes so much time to get this science, and a lot of times it's too late.
Right.
Yeah, and that's some of the stuff they're working on right now is updating the way they do stock assessments in order to implement what's being seen on the water into management advice much more quickly. But that's kind of in there to protect us as a safety net. Is you don't want to all of a sudden this science comes out and you're like, all right, let's implement management changes, and then all of a sudden it changes. And then also it takes a lot of time because it's an open, transparent public input process. So they have to go through these processes to allow public input. And that's your opportunity to have a voice or join an organization like Florida Guides Association and let them know your voice. And we can all agree as a group, and someone from the Florida Guides Association will make your voice known.
It's a great.
And they've had a good representation with the state, good representation with CCA. You know, it really does help, especially the professional guides. I mean, they need to join and get in there and get the statistics out there. You know, another thing is I still think with the management of fisheries all over the world, most of the time you manage fisheries on slots. Now, Dylan, I don't know if you agree or disagree with me, but you guys have to do it out there inshore. The problem is, just like redfish, if it's not working and we're having a problem with redfish, why have we waited so long to change that slot on redfish? Mike, we've talked about that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one's a problem. There's a lot of stuff here, Scotty, and I'd like to chat with you for hours about it all in the air here.
No worries.
Great call as usual.
Thank you.
Always good to hear your voice,
good
brother.
Good fishing, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Listen, there is
slot limits offshore real quick, though, would be awesome. But first, we got to address discard mortality.
Absolutely.
And safe handling
I
and
think
safe release.
that's the issue there is you don't have that. You don't have barotrauma.
Yeah, returnthemright.org. Everybody needs to check that out.
Yeah, when you release catch a redfish in 3 foot of water and release him in 3 foot of water, you don't have any barotrauma.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And I've witnessed that. If you've been offshore, you've witnessed the barotrauma that some of those fish go through when you're bringing them to the surface.
And if you get them up quick, dehook them quick, use a venting tool or descending device, no problem. Discard mortality is very low. I think you could do a slot, but that's the problem is not everybody's doing that proper and safe handling. And that's what we need to work on together. But real quick, before we wrap this up, let's talk a little bit about fishing. How have your fishing been this week? What'd you see out there?
Monday and Tuesday were good, and then we kind of got weathered out. Monday and Tuesday were good. They weren't great. They weren't as good as I thought they were going to be coming up on the new moon. We caught fish, but it wasn't stellar. So Monday I'm supposed to be filming in Captiva down at South Seas Island Resort with Ozzie Lessinger, so I'm hoping that goes well.
Yeah.
Looks like the weather could be okay. We could have a shot at rain there too.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna, hopefully Monday's the day we can get it in. Looks like by the
at least we don't have a lot of wind today, tomorrow, Monday. Going to be some rain later this afternoon, tonight.
Tuesday it cranks up again, though.
Yeah, going to get windy later this week. So get out there and take advantage of it. Near shore and offshore, big news is kingfish. Everybody's getting them super thick. Hogfish bites slowed down a little bit, but we're catching a lot of lanes and mangroves. Deep water closures open, so we can go deep, get those fat red grouper and scamp. Looking forward to that 39-hour coming back in tomorrow morning. Hopefully, tomorrow on Sundays, Real Animals will have a good report for you.
Yes, we'll chat with you Sunday night as well. So, April 19th. Don't forget to put it in your book. April 19th, 6 to 8 o'clock. We're going to start a little earlier. We're going to start at 6. It's worth the drive out to beautiful Bartow Ford out there. You want to join Captain Dylan Hubbard, Mike Mahoney, and myself as we talk offshore fishing. Enjoy some Cubans and some crabs and stuffed potatoes from the good people at Silver Ring Cafe. We got Ingle coolers, Bull Bay rods, Real Animal swag, usually some swag from other places, Bull Bay swag. We got all kinds of stuff to give away. So come on out and join us. It's going to be a great event. April 19th, that's a Tuesday night, 6 to 8 o'clock out at beautiful Bartow Ford there in Bartow. Come on out and see us for that for sure.
April 24th, we got our Bass Pro Shops fishing conversation in the Tampa Bass Pro Shops at 2 p.m. So a lot of stuff going on that week. And the bad part about that week, it's April 19th at Bartow with you and the infamous Mike Mahoney. Yep. And then that Thursday, I'm going to be in a boat with him for 12 hours offshore, filming Tales from the Dark Side. So going to be a very interesting episode. I'm a little scared, but very excited about that week.
Spending the day with the clown.
Spending a week with Mahoney.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Interesting. Join us tomorrow morning, the T.A. Mahoney Company Real Animals Radio Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620 for more fish talk. Everybody have a great week. Tight lines. Don't miss the show Sunday night. I'll be sure to tune in there and myself and call in, and we'll chirp in about 10 to 9 again.
Yeah, unfortunately, going to have to cancel this Sunday show.
Oh, no Sunday?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be driving to Gulf Shores. I got the Shark Depredation Workshop starting 8 a.m. Monday morning. So no live show tomorrow night, but every Sunday night except for tomorrow night.
Go figure. I went to plug it for him and help him out. And
I appreciate it.
Jason Behringer, thank you, my man. Good job as always. Appreciate you getting up early and your punishment for all that good stuff.
And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Tight lines, we're out.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
WFLA Tampa, WXTB.
It's like we've done that before.
It was a good show.
That was a great show.
Good show, peeps.
I think that was more callers than I've seen in a long time.
What did you guys think on the stream?
Did you like it?
Yeah, was it a good show? Was it a good
Doesn't
topic?
matter what we think.
We didn't get a lot of feedback on the.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, that the Real Animal stream, I thought it was like frozen or something, but the other stream on the Hubbard's page, a lot of people were commenting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. But it woke up a little bit towards the end. There's a lot of comments now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe yours just didn't refresh.
Yeah, it could
But
be.
like for the first hour and a half, there was like no comments. And everybody woke up.
That was the way the callers were today, too, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody was just sleeping in.
I get it. I don't blame you. I wish I was.
But appreciate y'all for watching and joining. And don't forget, again, tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., right on WDAE 620, another Real Animal Show. Will you be there tomorrow morning?
I will not.
Oh, so I got to remember to call in, or Mahoney will give me
Yes,
crap.
you do have to call in tomorrow. Yeah.
So who's doing the show tomorrow?
Ben Marshall and Mike Mahoney will be in doing the show. I am off tomorrow. So.
All right. Well, it'll still be a good one, and I'm sure it'll be a little bit more colorful since there's no supervision, as Mike Mahoney says.
Yeah, no doubt. Final Four night, Coach K's last game.
Who you pulling for?
I'm a Carolina and a Duke fan because they're great programs.
UNC is in it too?
It's Duke and North Carolina play one another. It's never happened in the NCAA tournament before, which is crazy to me.
That's never happened before?
Never happened. Not in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
So it's crazy that the first time they would meet is Coach K's last Final Four.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah, it should be a great game. I think it's going to be Kansas and Duke in the final, and I'm not sure Kansas doesn't win it all. Kansas is really good.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Should be good basketball. I'm pulling for Coach K just because it's Coach K, but I'm a Tar Heel fan as well. So if Hubbard Davis and the boys from Tobacco Road pull one off here, I'll be okay with that too.
So you have Coach K going to the finals versus
UNC. You got Villanova and Kansas in the first game.
But you're thinking it's going to be Duke and Kansas.
I think it'll be
in the
Duke
final.
and Kansas in the final is my guess. But again, North Carolina is so good, and that game is such a rivalry. That one's going to be a tough one. I wish it was on a little earlier, but it's not. So.
Will you be able to make it?
Oh, I'm going to watch it all, but I'm not going to be able to get up and do radio.
That's why he's not in studio tomorrow. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no live show tomorrow night because
that breaks my heart.
We'll be heading to Gulf Shores, but next week we'll resume all that. So hopefully you enjoyed the show today, guys. Y'all have a great Saturday. And remember, rain is coming later today. Don't get caught. Don't be fooled by that low wind report. It is going to get nasty tonight.
Yeah, be safe out there for sure. You want to. There's always time to go fishing another day.
Yeah, always a sunny day to go out there. See y'all.